All right. Hello, everyone. Hopefully you can hear me. Um, sorry for one. I'm so random with my calls. I try to be as scheduled out as I can, but I hate schedules. I hate planning things in advance. I'm an on the fly person. Everything always gets done. It just might not be necessarily the day that I say it's going to be done. It might not be the right time. I I hate schedules. I don't know. I'm so like I've tried to run my business where I plan everything out down to the last minute, and I have um you know obviously when I have meetings and stuff like that's got to get done, but I work so much better, and my best stuff comes out when I do it last minute, like rushed. I can't plan stuff out. So sometimes like my clients or people I work with, they get frustrated because something's late or something's not done when I say it's going to be done. That's how my business runs. That's how my life is. Things happen. I am not tied to a schedule. I am not tied to my computer. I'm not tied to my phone. Everything always gets done. I make money. I have clients. I have fun in my business. So I just want to apologize if that annoys you. That's how I work. So, regardless, we're going to get started today. Today, we're talking about ideal client avatars, why you should have one or why you should not have one, and websites to attract your ideal clients, why you should have one or why you should not have one. So these are two really big topics that get thrown around a lot in business, especially with virtual assistants, right? Um, you'll hear a lot about both of these topics. Doing Google searches, going on people's blogs about virtual assistants. It's hot topics. Just in general, running a business online, you'll hear a lot about websites and ideal clients, not even having to do with virtual assistants. So I'll start with one and I'll go to the next one and we'll see where it goes. All right. So ideal client basically means who you ideally want to work with. So it means ideal client avatar is like your ideal customer that you really want to work with. So like every business generally has this like picture in their mind of who they want to work with. So it just makes it easier from a marketing perspective that you kind of have that ideal person already painted in your mind and in your business. So when you start to try to market to them, like you have that picture and you know like what direction you should be headed towards when you're trying to target that person. That being said, I know who my ideal client is, but everything that I do in my business doesn't always necessarily reflect that person. I think when you have the issue with not having an ideal client that you'll run into is if you try to target everyone and anyone, everyone's budgets and prices are going to be different. You're going to have, people in thousands of different locations and they do different things. I mean, just think about business in general. If you're a general virtual assistant and you'll work with anyone, okay? So you've got to deal with time zones, you got to deal with currencies, you've got to deal with different price points, people that are just starting out on a budget, people that are, multi-million dollar industry leaders, they've got no budget for virtual assistants, everybody in between. Then you've got all kinds of people in different businesses, construction workers, dentists, doctors, people that work on cars, people that work on computers, small business owners, women that own jewelry stores. There's thousands of different types of businesses. Eventually, what I found being a virtual assistant, I was a virtual assistant for almost technically almost 7 years. When you don't have a clear picture of who exactly you want to work with, and you're like, okay, I'll work with anyone and anybody that wants to work with me. I'll work with any time zone. I'll work with any currency. I'll work with any industry. It was challenging because I didn't always necessarily know the person's business like I should have. If I work with a construction worker and a nail salon and a hairstylist and somebody that fixes computers, and they're all in different time zones and sometimes different currencies. And they want me to know about their business because I'm assisting them with it. I need to know a little bit about their background and how things work. I quickly found out that it was a lot to juggle, and it was really hard to manage all of that. And it was hard for me to focus, with people in all these different time zones and doing all these different industries. I was like bouncing around all the time. It took me a lot longer to do tasks because there were things that, I just didn't know anything about their business, and I would have to go and research stuff about it. And I, for one, actually wasn't even interested in their business at all. Like, it did, whatever they did, like, did not interest me at all. Writing blog posts for certain businesses was like pulling teeth. I hated it. I, for one, hate doing blog posts, but for two, trying to write about a topic that it honestly didn't matter how much somebody was going to pay me. I was just like, this is not going to work. Like, I don't want to write about, for a while I was doing dentistry. I was working for a small dentist office, so I was writing blogs for them and doing their email marketing, all of that. And I was like, I don't want to write about gum disease today. And then I had to do all this research on it and make sure like what I was talking about was legit. Didn't interest me at all. It was awful. It was boring. I hated it. I hated blogging. So I didn't know that until I had to go through that experience to figure out why I didn't like that. And okay, hey, I'm not going to offer that anymore, or to deal with that type of person. So the main point is you can have ideal clients, or you cannot have ideal clients. It's totally up to you. If you feel like you are not attracting the right type of person, or you're not working with clients that you really enjoy working with, then maybe you do need to work with, figure out an ideal client profile. What type of industry you want to work with? What type, are they women only, men only? Are they in a certain age group? Do they earn a certain amount of income? Figure out all of that kind of stuff first, and then really reevaluate why you're not, sorry. Then figure out why you're not attracting the type of person that you really want to work with. That's something to reconsider. If you're already working with your ideal clients, you're already working with people you really enjoy, you're making the type of money you enjoy, you're doing things that you enjoy doing, then maybe you don't need to target and focus on that type of person. That's basically what ideal clients are. Whether you should be using them or not, it's up to you. You're going to have people say you need to know your ideal client inside and out, and you got to have this down pat. You're going to have people say that ideal clients don't matter. I'm kind of in the middle. So on the other hand, websites, using web I didn't have a website for like 3 years in my business. I had one. I made it myself. It was awful looking for my virtual assistant business. So I just didn't show it. Like, I hated it. So I didn't tell people about it. I didn't use it as my portfolio. Like, it just sat there. So whether or not you have a website or not is up to you. Again, you're going to have people that say you need to have a website, you need to be blogging, you need to have your contact information on your website, you need to have your rates, your about page, what you can do, a portfolio, all this stuff. I really think it's up to you. There are virtual assistants that do fine without a website. There are clients that you'll talk to that won't even talk to you if you don't have a portfolio. I don't think it's necessarily a bad thing to have all of your information in one spot. So your contact information, what you can do, a portfolio, testimonials, all of that kind of stuff, it's not a bad thing. It's not a bad thing to be able to share that with potential clients and say, here's all my information. I think that having a website can really not having a good website and then promoting it as being, the greatest thing ever, it can backfire on you too. You have a lot of competition as a virtual assistant. There's a bazillion virtual assistants. Branding and social media and having a good professional website is really important nowadays. It's something that's going to make you stand out above the crowd. And you need to do everything that you can to make yourself stand out, be presentable, not have spelling errors on your website, not have your graphics look like you made them when you were half awake. Just having something look professional, look clean, is always a good idea. If you choose to have a website, that's, again, up to you. Having your own, at least if you're going to have a website, owning your own domain name, not having it Caitlin's virtual assistant services.wordpress.com, just having, Caitlin's virtual assistant services.com. Owning your own domain always looks a little bit more professional. People can remember it better. You're not having to say, yada, 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 .wordpress.com or .blogspot.com or whatever. It makes you look a little bit more professional. People are going to remember that better. If you do decide to have a website, some basic things you should have on it is, homepage, a little bit about you, an about page about, why you're a virtual assistant, what you can do, maybe where you live or your time zone, if you feel comfortable enough putting that on there. Portfolio, types of services you provide, your packages or your rates, if you feel comfortable enough putting that up there. I don't see an issue with providing your rates on your website because they shouldn't necessarily change, unless you're raising your rates, which you can always go on your website and change them quickly. But I'm full transparency, full disclosure. So you shouldn't be afraid to tell people your rates, because you're going to tell them anyways if you get them on the phone or if they ask or whatever. Like, you're going to have that conversation anyways. So your rate should be staying the same for everybody unless you do like custom packages for each person. Full transparency on rates. People like kind of feel funny sometimes about, I don't know if I should display my rates. Like, should they be on my website? Like, it's just another resource you can point people to on your website. That's no issue, right? So, yeah. So on your website, again, a portfolio, skills that you do, things you can provide your clients, whether it's social media, graphic design, web design, whatever you do, post it on your website. Having your contact information on your website is obviously needed. And, you don't have to like overthink it. Don't make it like this super complicated thing. I think simpler is better. Just making it look professional. It's like really important. Yeah, portfolio. If you don't necessarily do something tangible, so like you don't do graphic design, or maybe you only do like administration services, so you're like on the phone or doing email marketing or something, like you don't have anything to like show people, then just do like a list of your services. Just organize it some way that it looks clean, looks professional. I, again, think simple is better. You don't need to have 15 different fonts on your website. Try to stay consistent throughout with your branding, using the same types of fonts, the same text sizes, the same text, the same color palette, showcasing testimonials. If you have testimonials of clients that you've worked with, you can add those on there too. But that pretty much covers ideal clients and websites. Not rocket science, I don't think. I think people tend to overcomplicate ideal clients and their websites. So if you have any questions about either one of these topics, let me know and I'll be happy to answer them below. And if I've covered a topic that you need more assistance with, you need more clarification, you have questions on, also let me know. Feel free to just ask me a question or tag me in it, and I'll be happy to answer. Okay? Thanks for watching. Bye.